What's up, Internet? This is the 84th Wolf, and welcome to another Wolf Watches. Today I will be bringing you two more top 10s from some of my favorite subscriptions, and not only that, but I will be giving you a special 30-second video at the end. I'll tell you more about that when we get there. So let's go ahead and just jump right into it. We're going to go today. Our first video is going to be the 10 weirdest weapons in anime by Anime America. Now, if you remember, I did one of these before with what was it? It was powers, top 10 anime powers that we wish were real. So, as you know, I'm a new fan of Anime America, and I enjoy her work very much. I think she's a very funny person with all her group of people. So let's go ahead and jump right in, and I'll tell you the rest of the videos when we get to it.
Anime, a world that has been super creative in the world of animation, especially when it comes to weapons. Guns, swords, and weapons of large proportions have been beautifully made and highly exaggerated in numerous variety of anime. In some cases, however, the anime world has also given us a strange variety of nonsensical weapons. Given how strange yet creative they can be, we here at Anime America wish to highlight these weapons in this list, the top 10 weirdest weapons in anime. For this list, we gathered up the strangest, most unconventional items that were used somehow as a weapon. These objects may seem harmless as everyday objects, but then they're somehow transformed into highly effective weapons. How abnormal are these weapons, you ask? Let's find out. Here is Anime America's top 10 weirdest weapons in anime.
I love the music. I don't know what it is, but it's nice.
Number 10. Rollerblades as a weapon? Really?
Definitely starting off strange.
Yeah, why do I even question anime? Air Treks from Air Gear. In the world of Air Gear, a brand new form of rollerblades called Air Treks hit the market and take the world by storm. So what's the first thing these gangs do with them? Find a way to fight with them. Of course they do. You know, when you get right down to it, you can turn anything into a weapon if you just use your imagination, even if that object is as innocent looking as rollerblades.
I've never seen this show before, but apparently it's a weapon in that universe.
Well, a certain Disney princess made this weapon popular, but hasn't been done in anime.
Just look at that face. So handsome. I want to lick it.
What the hell?
Oh, I love you, Hitalia. Frying pans from Access Power Hitalia. Now, Hungry can be pretty good using weapons, so when the odds are against her, she's not afraid to use anything to get the job done. A frying pan is, of course, no exception.
I mean, technically it is France, but even if he is a douche nozzle, he's still a person.
I love Hungry.
Who dubs these episodes? Who calls someone a douche
Number
nozzle?
8. What's a good weird weapon for a sophisticated modern gentleman? Sven's suitcase from Black Cat. As far as weird weapons go, this one does stand out as unexpected. So what's so deadly about this briefcase, you might ask? Stab someone with a pen? Give a killer paper cut? More to the point, this briefcase is like the Swiss Army knife of briefcases. It has an inbuilt shotgun, machine gun, grenade launcher, net launcher, electric cable, and one of the most unique weapons ever, cat bombs. Literally, it's a bomb that lures cats. That's a weird weapon in a weird weapon. It's weirdception, people.
It's like the Speed Racer of briefcases.
You know, a part of me really wishes cat bombs were real because... Kitties. I love kitties.
Dog lover for life, by the way. Some cats
Number
are just
7.
evil.
the Death Note
Of
from
course.
Death Note.
Of course.
The infamous
Of course, Death
notebook
Note makes
itself.
a list. It makes
Well,
like
let's
every
really
list.
think hard about this. When you get right down to it, thousands of people in the show died by a notebook. Yes, it sounds either awesome or disturbing to some people like me, but it's weird to think that you can kill anyone you want by a notebook. Just a simple pen and a piece of paper from this particular notebook could get you or someone you know killed. That's fascinating yet disturbing at the same time, but nonetheless, using a notebook to kill people really is unconventional.
And then back to
Number
happy
6.
music.
Blood. Blood as a weapon. Seriously?
Wow.
Again, why am I questioning anime? Mirai's blood sword from Kyokai no Kanata. Mirai has the ability to manipulate blood, so she uses her ability to take her own blood and shape it as a sword. She must have a lot of practice with this because I, for one, can't avoid anemia if I lose too much blood. Nope.
That's what I would expect it to happen.
Number 5. Well, hello, Ms. Senjogahara.
戦争をしましょう。
Bye-bye, Ms. Senjogahara. Staplers from Bakemonogatari. So in Bakemonogatari, Hitagi Senjogahara uses various office supplies as her weapons, especially staplers.
Ow.
One would think that these everyday objects wouldn't be so bad, but a good game of Whack Your Boss will prove you wrong.
Stapler? I don't think I've done the stapler.
Jesus.
Well, that seems like everything else that happened in here, so maybe I have done that. No, I got a score. Okay. Alright.
Kids, don't try that at home.
Please don't. It's
Number
amazing
4.
how brutal people can be.
Be sure to get my good side. Cheese!
I remember this. I've never seen the show, but I've heard about it.
A camera from Speedgrapher. In Speedgrapher, Saiga Tetsumi has a camera that can literally make people explode. Seriously, anything he points at with this camera will explode with just a push of a button. Little help here? Hey! Eh? A little help here, please. Oh. Good thing I'm a cartoon. Number
Just the
3.
little asides in these videos are usually pretty darn good.
Bubblegum. Why not? Gum from Hunter x Hunter.
Oh,
Here we
this
have
guy.
Hisoka, a hunter who uses bubblegum as a weapon of choice and inspiration. He can manipulate his aura's consistency into an incredibly sticky substance like bubblegum, can be stretched out and attached to anything he targets, and can be used as a shield to bounce back any weapon thrown at him. So I guess you could say this weird weapon can get Hisoka out of sticky situations. You knew I had to.
It had to be said. Yeah, Hunter x Hunter,
Number 2.
Again, not a series I get into, but I've seen the fight scenes, so...
Atticus Base from Fooly Cooly. There a way to be a badass and to kick ass at the same time with weird weapons? Of course there is. Atticus Base is her weapon of choice. A left-handed Rickenbacker Model 4001 with some slight modifications. Not only can this base deliver devastating blows, it can also fire like a machine gun and has a built-in rocket launcher. Given the unpredictable nature of Haruko in this crazy anime, it's basically best to stay on her good
That
side.
thing is...
Sorry about that treble
Alright,
joke.
okay, those are enough puns.
A quirky weapon for a very quirky character.
That's a really cool weapon. I actually kind of want to watch the series now just to see how she uses
Before
it.
we move forward, here are some honorable mentions.
Anime. Why? Japan, why? How do you do this? Where do you get these ideas from? I kind of wish one of the Ruby weapons was on this, but I mean, she's made a video about this already that technically, in her opinion, that that Ruby isn't an anime, so she's not including it in any lists that she puts in. And I can understand that. Even if I am a huge fan of Ruby and disagree. Dual discs. Technically not a weapon, but I mean, sure, why not?
And the number 1 weirdest weapon in anime is... Last case scenario. No guns, no weapons, and none of the items listed from 10 to 2. What else can you do? Hope you're in Dottom City and use your underwear. Lingerie from panty and stocking with garter belt. Yes, technically these garments can transform into swords and guns.
Mentioned that.
But they are first and foremost underwear and leggings. Panties can turn into a gun. Stockings can turn into swords. Knee socks can turn into scythes. And scanties turn into dual pistols. If push comes to shove, having underwear weapons can be really handy, but nonetheless, underwear weapons really are the weirdest, most unconventional weapons in anime.
What do we say about this? Oh, Japan.
Thank you all so much for watching this video. We originally planned on doing top 10 weapons of anime, but we felt that these weapons were so different and unique, we ended up making this list into 3 separate ones. You just watched top 10 weirdest weapons, so next up will be most powerful weapons and most iconic weapons in anime.
Alright, so next is, what is it, biggest and iconic weapons? I'm gonna have to, maybe I'll wait until both those episodes come out and then I'll review them both at the same time, so it'll be like a triple top 10 list almost. So we'll see how that goes. So now that we've enjoyed our watching of the 10 weirdest weapons in anime, now let's move on to something that just came out at time of speaking, and it is the 10 forgotten video game, video game heroes video games. So the main reason why I like this one is by Watchmojo.com, who like Anime America, have a whole list of top 10 stuff, and they range from being funny to informative to silly, and in this case just nostalgic almost. So, and the picture it shows a gecko. I don't even know where the game what game he's from, but I just remember the face of the gecko. I remember playing it when I was like, I don't even know, like before teens, and I completely forgot about him. So, I just figured that, it's nostalgic, so let's give it a shot.
Sometimes the greatest heroes are the ones forgotten with time. Welcome to Watchmojo.com, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 forgotten video game heroes. For this list, we'll be looking at the lesser-known gaming heroes who, after working their way to save their world, faded away after the credits rolled. This also includes characters who have had appearances in other franchises, but who haven't been on their own adventure for quite some time. This does not include those who have games in development, or those who have had recent releases.
Switching to all-range mode. Let's take the offensive.
Star Fox 64 is definitely one of my favorite games. I wish they would just remake that game.
This particular character may sound familiar to you if you were to add one more Lo to that name. Lo is his name in several Kirby games and the anime series Kirby Right Back At Ya.
I like that name.
Though in the English dub, it's Fololo. Man, what's with the constant name changes for this guy? But before all of that, Lolo, just 2 Los and no foe, was the main protagonist for his own series of games in the late 80s and early 90s, where he traversed through different puzzles to locate hearts and open treasure chests to rescue his companion, Lala. Of course.
I think I've played that before. It looks familiar, but maybe I played a clone version of it.
Mystical Ninja series.
Goemon! Oh, I totally forgot about that game.
Out of the 4
I never
Goemon
beat it,
games
but it
to
was
come
so
out in
much
the US,
fun.
His Nintendo 64 titles are the most well-known. With similar gameplay to Mario 64 and Ocarina of Time, it was definitely a lot of fun to play. However, its humor was hit or miss with American audiences, which is why many wish it would get a re-release today. Thanks to the popularity of the anime now, a game with a peach-shaped villainous spaceship and a giant roller skating robot wouldn't seem nearly as strange as it did back then. Besides, who doesn't sing along when the song starts?
The roller skating robot bit, when you first came into it, that was like the most fun point of the game for me when I reached it.
Ragnar, how are you, boy? I forgot myself.
There comes a time in a young Viking's life when he gets to be the lead in a video game. Such a destiny was foretold about Ragnar, who gets tossed into the brewing conflict between Odin and Loki. No, not those two.
Where's
and
Thor?
has the daunting task of preventing Ragnarok.
Wisdom will come with experience, and you'll have need of both in these dark times.
Did we mention that it's also pretty much his first day on the job since he got initiated into Odin's Blade?
You are brave indeed to carry on this hallowed tradition.
The real twist is that, after the entire ordeal, you can actually decide to let Loki win. Maybe Ragnar was bitter about only being in one game.
I've never played
Number
that
7,
one before.
Zool,
Never seen it.
Zool series.
Zool, motherfucker, Zool!
You may remember this guy as an honorable mention in our
I'm
top
sure
10
that's not
failed
it.
gaming franchises list. And yeah, we're still thinking about this one. Zool was a gremlin ninja, and, well, we really don't need to say all that much more, because really, who doesn't want to cross between a gremlin and a ninja who traverses across stages that look like a candy store exploded? Seriously, how could he not become a platforming icon of the 90s, especially when both games were such huge successes for the Amiga and since Commodore filed for bankruptcy in 1994, a year after the release of Zool 2. Oh, well, that makes sense.
Oh, that's cool.
Number 6, the Ice Climbers.
Only played that in
Dressed in their
Super
blue and
Smash.
pink parkas, Popo and Nana would race to the top of different mountain courses. But why are they on this list? I mean, we definitely know who the Ice Climbers are. They're those damn little annoying buggers that Dave always uses in Smash Brothers. Damn you! Excuse me. But to our surprise, these two have only had one game release, and it was 30 years ago. That's 30 years without even having a second game to their name. I mean, if they were well liked enough to be regulars in Smash Brothers, except even now, Smash Brothers have forgotten about them as they're not even in the most recent versions thanks to the limitations of the 3DS. They're even missing in the Wii U version.
It's
That
because Nintendo
sucks.
needed new characters, and they didn't have any. That's why we only know Kid. I mean, he's had Kid Icarus since
Number
then,
5,
but that was
Earthworm
after
Jim
Super
series.
Smash Brothers. And of
From
course,
Earthworm
Earthworm
to
Jim.
superhero to cartoon star to forgotten. As his catchy cartoon theme states, the soil he did crawl and a super suit did fall. The rest, as they say, is forgotten history.
Here comes Earthworm Jim, you know that he's a mighty one.
After a string of fun 2D adventures and a cartoon series, things took a turn for the worse when the worm moved on to the N64. Turns out the hero with the great big muscles was still just an earthworm. The 3D game tanked and we never heard from Jim again, until the HD remake, which reminded us of a time when we thought he was, quote, mighty fine. Number 4, Konoko, Oni. We can always use more female leads in video games, especially leads like Konoko, who combined third-person shooting and hand-to-hand combat while she discovered the secrets of the police force she worked for.
There has to be something I can do.
Sadly, cool gameplay can only go so far. There were several problems with the game, the biggest one being the removal of LAN-based multiplayer, which had been available in the demos, and the absence of certain mechs that had appeared in the game's trailers.
I don't remember Oni.
This was a case of a game being too ambitious and coming out too soon, which has left us wondering, would the game look better if it were re-released today? Number 3, Gex. Gex series.
That's who it was.
Beyond the puns and the platforming, Gex actually has an interesting backstory. In the first game, he deals with his father's death by bottling up his feelings and seeking comfort in watching television, at least according to the instruction booklet.
Hey, cool. I wonder what's on HBO.
Of course, being pulled into the TV and defeating a supervillain made the whole thing a bit surreal.
If I had a life, I'd be glad to get back to it.
But we can't believe this hasn't been remade with a few Beyoncés or Netflixes while having some message about the media and how people process grief.
Kill your TV, man.
Sadly, the last time we saw the gecko was in Hot Shots Golf 2.
Really? There's like a 3D game for it.
Number 2, Tiny. Tiny Tank.
I remember it being good, but I don't remember what the title was.
You'd think that by the year 2094, people would know not to let robots fight their battles. But thanks to Centrax making their robo spokesperson an adorable yellow tank, people are easily swayed. Thanks, Tiny. But he is kind of cute.
Wahoo! Hi, America! Hi, boys and girls! It's me, Tiny Tank!
Maybe things will actually work out. Nope, that live demonstration just caused Tiny's destruction, and his shards have brought his attacker, an entire robot army, to life. Whoops.
And you're a killing machine. What's wrong with that?
Creepy.
100 years later, Tiny is rebuilt, and his adventure begins, but only for one time.
I have never even heard of this one.
Sadly, this was the only Tiny release, and we never got to be that adorable, destructive robot ever again.
Not enough to hear, you get me?
Holy shit.
Before we try to remember our number 1 pick, let's not forget about these honorable mentions.
Ristar? Ristar? Don't know. Oh, that was an old game. Croc. That was a good game. It was like a Banjo-Kazooie type thing.
Number 1, Marina Light Years.
Oh, Mischief Makers. That's another old one.
While everyone was entering into the world of 3D gaming, this robot maid decided to shake things up in her own 2D adventure.
Shake, shake.
Marina Light Years introduced gamers to the very first 2D platformer on the N64, a rather bold move when every game was trying to live up to the 3D standards of Super Mario 64. The game got decent reviews at the time, but nothing too spectacular. The good reviews would actually come several years later, when reviewers looked back at the game and praised it as an underrated gem. If we don't remember anything else about Marina, we'll always remember this. Do you agree with our list? Which video game hero do you remember fondly, but everyone else seems to have forgotten? For more memorable top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to Watchmojo.com.
God.
Something wrong?
You know, Tiny, I'd like to tell you what a pleasure it's been working with you.
You what?
I'd like to.
Oh, that was a nice word. Alright, well, that was top 10 forgotten video game heroes. For the most part, I completely forgot about some of those, and I remember having a lot of fun with those kind of things, especially things like Gex and Croc and some other ones. But anyway, so that was a very enjoyable experience, a lot of nostalgia going around, so that was fun to watch. Alright, so, final thing I wanted to show you. Now, for those of you who watch Ruby and don't want any hints or spoilers or anything like that, you might as well just turn this off now. But what I have is coming next on Ruby Volume 3, Episode 9. It's a 30-second clip. That's why I saved it for the end, and that's why I'm doing 3 instead of just 2. So I just wanted to see how my reaction would top off with watching the trailer for that. So let's go ahead and go right to it.
It looks like our first contender is Penny Polendina, and her opponent will be Pira Nikos from Beacon.
This is going to be so much fun. Mercury, what are you doing?
Showtime.
All right, for those of you who don't really know what's going on there, Pyrrha, the one with the red and gold with the shield, she has a special power called Semblance, which and her unique semblance is polarity. So, and Penny, the one with the orange hair, I don't know if you guys know. But she is an android, and nobody knows about this. So basically it's polarity versus an android who's made out of metal and stuff like that. And so that's like the biggest thing. So, nothing was given away here except the stuff that we already knew from watching the last episode. But, just seeing the fight, I'm so glad that it actually shows them fighting, because, my biggest fear in that was that either the fight was going to be interrupted or Pyrrha would find out immediately that Penny was some sort of android and reveal her secret. So, good that there's actually going to be content to next episode, not just a whole bunch of feels like last episode. So anyway, I will close off by saying that I'm excited for that. And today is, what's today? Today is the 14th. And to help out Rooster Teeth in their first full-length movie that they are premiering, well, I get, yeah, to me it's their full-length movie. They have shown other movies in theaters, but it was mainly like Red vs. Blue seasons, not movies. So anyway, back to my point. But Lazer Team is going to be playing on the 27th of January. I would recommend that you guys check it out. You can reserve tickets on LazerTeamTheMovie.com. I'll put a link in the description. And I mean, it's these guys. They're so much fun. They have so many good ideas and stuff like that. I know you guys know I'm a huge fan, but maybe check them out. See if it's the type of humor that you guys enjoy. They're playing at movie theaters all over the place, and there's still time to reserve tickets so it can play in a theater in your town. I don't know when the cutoff for that is exactly. It might be the same day that this video goes out, but in all honesty, I would just give it a try anyway. And just because you can't reserve tickets doesn't mean that you can't see the movie. So check if it's playing near you, see if it's something you like. And yeah, so that's all for now. Thanks for watching this with me. Thanks for your reaction. Thanks for your support. Like, subscribe, comment, tell me what you want to see. And I'll see you guys next time.